action.
I call Fletcher Tabato.
Thank you for the privilege of speaking tonight, and tēnā koutou to the House this evening. Can I just take this opportunity to reply to some of the words from the Minister tonight? I actually say good luck with what you're trying to achieve with the tax system, sir. Good luck with the outcomes you hope to achieve, because if what you are hoping for actually works, then New Zealand First will probably agree that actually that will be great for small New Zealand businesses, because we're talking about the lowering of the cost of compliance. But what the Minister and what this government in particular probably won't concede, excuse me, sir, is that on the one hand, while they seek to lower compliance costs in terms of tax conformity or performance, on the other hand, we're about to debate a piece of legislation in regard to health and safety reform, where the cost of compliance to New Zealand's small businesses will be horrendous. Already the discussion is taking place where small businesses are coming to us and saying, how can we cope with these costs of these safety regulations? And the irony of that, sir, is that actually if this government had left the legislation alone, but simply funded, sir, adequately the oversight of the safety legislation as it stood previously, we would have had an adequate health and safety system. Instead, we're changing the law in a large and extreme manner, actually, and then we're funding oversight. $8 million a year for the next 3 years to actually ensure that we're complying with health and safety. It seems a bit backwards, sir. So whilst I commend the Minister for what he seeks to achieve, on the one hand, this government giveth, on the other, it taketh away, sir. The Minister the Finance Minister spoke quite in detail about trade, sir. He spoke about the benefits of trade. And New Zealand First, as a party, needs to repeat as often as possible, sir, that we are a party that supports trade. We believe in the benefits of trade, and we understand why trade is important.
Never voted for a trade agreement.
Those members over there deliberately claim ignorance. I'm not calling them ignorant, Mr. Chair. I'm saying they deliberately claim it. They deliberately claim it because it makes their conversation or their debate easier. The reality is trade is good, but sir, in those same trade agreements, we have the likes of certification, and more importantly, I presented a member's bill to this House trying to remove the investor-state dispute settlement provision from our trade agreements. That's not anti-trade. That is pro-New Zealand, sir. So what this government says to us is, in order to have trade, we must remove our sovereignty. We must disempower this very government which they sit here representing tonight. So the ISDS provision allows large international corporates to sue this government, not in New Zealand law, not in international law, but in secret tribunals. And this is what this government is advocating, sir. It just makes no sense. Those tribunals are not transparent, they have no right of appeal, and they make decisions that we cannot investigate or understand how they came to those decisions because they are made in secret, sir. So New Zealand First stood up in this House just last week and said, we cannot accept that in our trade agreements. Let's use a transparent legal system. Let's have judges. Let's have transparency. Let's have an appellate system where we can actually appeal the decisions, and conversely, for once, the governments could actually hold the international corporates to account. Sir, on budget day, I said to this government that they were wearing rose-coloured lenses. The assumptions that this government made when they wrote this budget were bordering on the ridiculous, sir. Bordering on the ridiculous. The appropriations, sir, were made given a set of rose-tinted assumptions that were said back where, and the government said this is very unlikely. This scenario is very unlikely. Everything will be rosy and our budget will be accurate if only a few things come to pass. Well, nothing that this government used to create the appropriations, sir, were actually accounted for in that budget. What did this...
I call James Shaw.